ComC is your home for buying, selling, and flipping all the hottest trading cards. Their consignment marketplace is home to over 27 million cards across all sports, genres, and eras. With a ComC account, you can purchase cards from different sellers over time and ship them home together later, or immediately reprice them for sale on the ComC marketplace. To stay updated with ComC, please follow them on social media at CheckOutMyCards, one word, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. To learn about offers, promotions, and more at ComC, please visit blog.comc.com. You're listening to the WaxPackHero Sports Card Minute, a podcast where we discuss both the hobby and business sides of collecting. I'm your host, Mike Sommer, and I want to help you buy, sell, and trade your way into a collection you'll love. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the WaxPackHero Sports Card Minute. Well, I did it again. This last weekend, I was able to secure another massive collection. I picked it up from somebody who's moving out of state, and it took 3 pickup truck loads of back and forth to get all of those cards from his house to my house. He was moving out of state. The place that he's moving, he wasn't going to have quite as much room to store the collection that he had, and it had about everything. There's a ton of sealed wax. There's BBCE from a sealed case wrapped old wax in there. Bunch of old sets from the 80s, tons of 83, 84, 85 sets with some of those historic rookie cards from the junk wax era that are so fun to collect. There's new modern football and parallels and inserts and autographs. There was some vintage, even some pre-war non-sports. There was some bunch of 50s Bowman, some other 60s Mantles and Aarons and things like that. And so it is going to be a lot of fun to go through this, add a few things to my collection, sell the rest online and at the shop, but it is going to take a while to do it. I'm going to have to get on it pretty quick, though, because this was one collection where it is creeped out into the living room in our basement, and so it's not quite as tucked away as most of my inventory. So my wife's going to give me she's a little bit patient with me. She's going to give me a little bit of time to get some of this stuff sorted, organized, and kind of reallocated. But yeah, I'm going to have to get on this pretty quick. But that was a lot of fun, and it's been fun to start to go through that. So that was a good start to the last week, and then it'll take the next several weeks and months probably as I work my way through this. So thought I would share a little bit about my most recent pickup. I'll probably do a whole podcast episode kind of breaking down what I was able to find out of there and highlight some of the cool pieces as I go through it. That's not our main topic today. Our main topic today is going to be, I'm titling it, Does Integrity Matter Anymore? And we'll talk a little bit about that. I did some writing on this topic on the blog, and we're going to dig in a little bit more today about my thoughts on does integrity matter anymore. And we'll start that after I tell you about Underdog Collectibles, the online shop run by collectors for collectors. It breaks new product every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday night. You can see what they're going to be breaking this week by checking them out at udogcollect.com. Or you can visit them in their brick and mortar store in Knoxville, Tennessee, where they have a full selection of wax, singles, supplies. You can even watch some of their breaks live in the shop. And if you hit something big, or if you've got some cards you want to submit, they are an approved group submitter to SGC, and you can learn more about that by visiting them at udogcollect.com. And when you do, tell them WaxPackHero sent you.
Hi, this is Scott Spezio, and you're listening to the WaxPackHero Sports Card Minute.
I'm an optimist. Really, I am. One of my strengths throughout my career has been my ability to see the big picture, to be adaptable, and to embrace change. I've been able to look beyond the short-term impacts of less than ideal circumstances to see long-term opportunities that still exist. But that doesn't mean I don't get frustrated from time to time. There's things that happen that get me down, that annoy me, or that cause an immediate reaction of disappointment and sometimes negativity. It happens in my day job, happens in my personal life, and it also happens in the hobby. The most recent example of this is this whole situation with Josh Luber partnering with Backyard Breaks to do a big promotional break of Prison basketball. Yes, that Josh Luber, the Chief Vision Officer of Fanatic Sports Cards / Tops, and yes, that Backyard Breaks, the same clown show of an operation who backed out of a promotional giveaway after hitting a big card during a promo break, and who have been featured in videos highlighting other questionable practices in their video streams. Luber and Fanatics have expressed a desire to grow the industry via growing the collecting base. That messaging had me excited. I think there's a ton of potential growth out there, and if they can continue to expand the worldwide number of people interested in sports cards, the future of the hobby is bright. Now, up to this point, I was under the impression they were interested in doing this by partnering with local card shops, breakers, and other companies who are focused on data-driven decisions. People who knew their customers and were creating welcoming, fun, friendly, clean, and professional environments. Enter Backyard Breaks. With their crop tops, loud and obnoxious yelling, and frat boy style antics, they would seem to be the opposite of an ideal partner for Luber and Fanatics. Except for one thing: money. It seems that a short-term boost of attention and a potential for a quick boost in sales trumps integrity, reputation, professionalism, and class. Now, while this breaking outfit lacks all of those things, what they don't lack is eyeballs and followers. They have 231,000 followers on TikTok, almost 13,000 on YouTube, and 41,000 on Instagram. Insert facepalm emoji here. Despite being called out for unethical practices, their following has only grown over the last several weeks. That following and their ability to sell through products seems to be the only things that matter to Luber and team when it comes to their desire to be associated with Backyard. Historically, I have been welcoming and embraced new entrants to the hobby community. But if the new entrants we're talking about are individuals who embrace the Backyard style of doing things, then I have concerns. Or maybe I should say I'm disappointed. If this is the customer base and the distribution channel future products are going to be designed for, then I can see my interest in supporting the modern hobby decreasing significantly. I have no interest in promoting or engaging with that type of behavior, that type of company, or the individuals who embrace it. When I did a little post about this on TikTok, I was amazed at the number of people who are coming out to support Backyard Breaks, who either said they did nothing wrong, or who called me a negative hater, or somebody who just was not successful enough and was jealous. Imagine a world where calling out a scammer and highlighting unethical business practices is labeling you a hater. And maybe this is really what's got me down. With so many reputable shops and breakers out there who are honest, hardworking, and who give back to their communities, it's the clown shows who are being rewarded. Nobody seems to care that there's bad actors doing bad things. At least nobody seems to care in the short term. The great thing about the market is that customers ultimately get to decide who wins and who loses. If customers don't like a product or a way a company does business, we get the opportunity to speak with our wallets. We don't have to buy from them. We don't have to watch them. They need us more than we need them. If Fanatics is going to throw their weight behind the type of collecting base who supports money grabs, high school antics, and stealing from customers, then they deserve the pain that will come when the segment eventually leaves or when their reputation is damaged by these partners. Customers stop buying, changes will be made. The optimist in me says that in the long run, the good guys will win. This Backyard thing is the latest example, but the frustrating thing is that it seems like kind of a trend. PWCC continues to get business and still has influential supporters despite getting kicked off eBay for association with shill bidding. That, in addition to what seems like turning a blind eye to some cards with questionable authenticity due to trimming, faked patches, etc. Then you have Probstein, which also seems to be lumped in with allegations of shill bidding. We have grading card companies who ran into similar issues of grading questionable cards back in 2019, and when people are asked why they continue to support these platforms, the answer typically comes down to money. They say they don't care about all that shady stuff if they still make more money. These are the types of things that make me question whether integrity matters. The answer is I do think it still matters. And like I said before, eventually the bad actors will pay the price for their actions. Now, don't get me wrong, I fully anticipate that it may take years or even decades for this to play out as the current cycle we're in ebbs and flows. It may be 10 years before some of these consequences will be felt from alienating a base of lifelong collectors. But if those that are frustrated speak with their wallets, then eventually we can get their attention. So what does this mean for my hobby activity now? Well, fortunately, we have over 100 years worth of cards that I can buy, sell, and collect. I could never buy another new pack and still not run out of cards to collect and focus on. And initially, this is where my hobby attention will be going. And honestly, this shift for me started back in 2020. As the price of new wax rose to 2 to 3 times the price I was paying from 2016 to 2019, my interest in opening wax declined, and I started to shift to buying and selling collections, like I mentioned at the opening of this episode. And my own PC began to focus more on vintage and cards which came out when I was a young collector back in the 80s and 90s. Sure, I'll still buy the occasional pre-sale wax box directly from Topps, or some other products from other manufacturers here and there. However, for now, new products are not going to be my primary focus. They'll only be a tiny percentage of my annual spend. I'm going to keep supporting the card shops and websites like ComC, eBay, and Sportlots where I can pick up singles from my PC. I'll never have to support platforms which embrace breakers and sellers like Backyard. I'm free to ignore hobby content creators who promote unethical, short-sighted, and negative approaches to the hobby. So while disappointments like this Luber fanatic's decision to support a clown show might get me down for a few days, it won't keep me down. I'm having more fun than ever creating content and educating and sharing experiences I've had to help others create a self-sustaining hobby. My passion for the hobby grows every time I get the opportunity to help collectors find cards they love. As I said before, in the long run, I believe the good guys are going to win. But even if they don't, it's not going to keep me from enjoying this hobby I love.
Like the athletes we admire, the Sports Card Shop is changing the game. We're not launching threes, bombing drives, or hitting dingers, but we have built a unique gathering spot for all collectors to trade cards, talk sports, play games, and watch their favorite athletes on the big screens. Yes, we've partnered with Panini, Upper Deck, Leaf, Topps, Fanatics, Pokemon, and others to bring you all the latest in sealed wax and singles. But the Sports Card Shop in New Buffalo, Michigan is much, much more. Our recent expansion brings collectible sneakers, Hot Wheels, and more sports and entertainment memorabilia into the mix. Our new Collector's Cave game room is the perfect place to throw a rip party, bring friends, rip packs, trade cards, play billiards, ping pong, shuffleboard, classic arcade, and Xbox games, all while watching your favorite sport on TV. Visit us at thesportscardshop.com. Follow us on social @_sportscardshop, or better yet, visit us in person to learn about special events, party packages, new products, and everything we're doing for you. The Sports Card Shop, connecting people, sports, and the hobby around the world.
So there are my thoughts on, does integrity matter anymore? Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Or are you on the other side and think that just the fact that I'm talking about this and highlighting this is making a big deal out of something that's not a big deal at all, and I'm just being a negative hater? I would love to know. I'd love to hear what your perspective is. I think that's one of the great things about this hobby is we can all come from different sides, even though I may strongly disagree with some of those positions. Reach out to me on Twitter at @TheMikeSummer, send me an email at waxpackhero@gmail.com, or reach out on TikTok or Instagram at waxpackhero. I'd love to know what you think about this topic or any other collecting topic you'd love to hear me talk about. Well, that is all I've got for you today, so I'll catch you next time.